you're watching Luntha television, welcome to our today's edition of Press Review, a program in which we take you through some of the stories that are appearing in our newspapers. And as usual, we do have the Nation newspaper as well as the Daily Times newspapers. Today you are with me, Charity Chilanga, and my colleague
Emmanuel Chuacha.
Mwanzuka bwanji wawo.
Ifetu tanzuka bwino. Kwambiri chifukwa kuti tanzuka bwino ife tidabadwa lero.
Motelero ndi perfect.
Lero kuli perfect koma mukhalero aphake no ochitayo ndino ya. Danga sina nchimwana choti chabadwa
chibebe. Iyo ndikhani yabwino. Wishing you a happy birthday.
Thanks very much.
All right, I will be taking you through the Nation newspaper. And to begin with, the front page, Chakwera explains ministers swap, and part 3 the story says President Lazarus Chakwera says he appointed Kasungu South legislator Simplex Chichirabanda as new Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs to lead reconfiguring of public spending towards productive and most economic sectors. The President said this in Kozibi, Mangochi yesterday when he commissioned the Southern Region Water Board Mangochi Town Water Supply Project. This was the first time he publicly commented on the swapping of ministerial roles between Chichirabanda and Sostin Gwembe, who is now Minister of Industry and Trade. Said Chakwera, I have appointed Honorable Simplex Chichirabanda as the new Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs to implement the public spending reconfiguration exercise needed to maximize our limited resources. He said programs accustomed to spending public money without any productive end will need to be found. Yes.
Kusintha wanduna tidaona Sostin Gwembe kuchoka ndithu unduna wa zachuma umenewu kupita ku Ministry of Trade unduna ona zamalonda kuona so abambo chichola nawonso kuchoka ndithu unduna umene anali ndithu
kupita kuna wazachuma ndiye kuti akandikoyamba president adziko lino kubwera poyera kufotokoza zifukwa zimene anapangira zimenezi.
I think yes, ife wamenepa sitingakhule zambiri koma tingoti chifukwa ndidamva Simplex Chichirabanda adatilonjeza amalawi akuti heaven, he promised heaven. Ndiye tione kuti kodi atibweretsera zotani koma we are wishing Honorable Sostin Gwembe and amene wa Simplex Chichirabanda ndithu ekugwira ntchito kopambana atumikire ndithu amalawi and the president trust and awiri amenewa. So here we have a story. It says heat wave hits Malawi. Malawi yesterday started experiencing what the Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services described as a heat wave, with temperatures expected to hit a peak of 44 degrees Celsius, the department indicate. Tilimu sama menemu amene nyengo yotentha ndiyetu mbale wanga dzuwa lili kupulika likuwala ndipo taonadi ndithu sidzulo lokha koma taona ndithu amenewa azanyengo akutiuza Malawi kuti pempha kuti tidzimwa madzi pafupi komanso kwajama kondakapanga.
Delayed disbursement of funds for other recurring transactions ORT and General Resource Fund GRF has paralyzed operations of local councils in sectors such as health, education and agriculture. Malawi Local Government Association MAGA says the councils are yet to get funding for September and October this year. In an interview yesterday, MAGA Executive Director Hadlodi Mkandawiri said the last funding that councils received from central government was for July and August. He said funding delays are a big problem. There is no September funding yet. The funding the councils received was for July and August.
On the front page, we have a story. It says, we cannot continue being slaves, Chakwera. President Lazarus Chakwera has said Malawi cannot continue borrowing for consumption, blaming the trend for turning Malawi into a slave lender. Chakwera said this yesterday during the commissioning of Southern Region Water Board Nkosi Bay Water Project. Speaking at the event, Chakwera said it is unfortunate that the country continues to borrow money with no tangible investment that will ensure that the country has enough. A president ditu kudandaula kuti Malawi khanga kuti tiumakonda kubwereka ndalama komano boneka ngati kuti zanyanya.
All right, moving on to the second page of the Nation newspaper. The relief program faces 80,000 metric tons maize deficit. Department of Disaster Management Affairs told Masa is the lean season. Food relief program faces a deficit of 80,000 metric tons of maize out of the needed 164,000 metric tons. Speaking at the launch of the exercise in Mangoji district on Monday, Dodoma Commissioner Charles Kalimba said out of the 226 million United States dollars needed, 78 million United States dollars has been sourced for cash transfers, and maize was still in short supply. Said Kalimba, we expect the government to provide 164,000 metric tons worth 60 billion of maize, so that we are able to reach out to all the councils.
And here we have a story. It says UNHCR commits 8.1 million US dollars for Malawi. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, has committed 8.1 million US dollars, about 81 billion, to Malawi for use for reviewing the Refugee Act and relocating refugees and asylum seekers, and establish of a new refugee camp in Jidiba.
And that's a very good development.
That's a very good development. As many as available tourists, Tandizile, Kukonza, camp annual, and many Funakazikitsi Yama refugee Jidiba, Kumanso, Tandizile, Bajatumauna, na mwanzi kazama igo ena mene akumape mpandi tukula akubanga relocate kubwerera. So drama zimenezi 81 billion kwaja ndalama imene ibitandize ndithu ngobe mpha kuti let us make sure kuti ndalama zimenezi zigwiritsidwe ntchito yake yeniyeni yoyenera.
Alright, 10% of education budget lost to class repetitions, and partly the story says the stakeholders have declared the worsening repetition rate in public primary schools, with associated losses estimated to be 10% of the overall education budgetary allocation. This follows the findings of the 2023 Education Sector Performance Review Report, ESPR, that poor investment in lower primary school grades is leading to high repetitions. Educationist Dr. Steve Shala, a dedicate all to the two-day Education Joint Sector Review JSR meeting in Lilongwe, where the ESPR was released, observed that the National Annual School Census indicates that 1.3 million learners are repeating a class this year alone, translating to about 50 billion kwacha loss, as government spends an estimated 38,000 kwacha per primary school learner annually.
Another story, it says government on MARIP suppliers. The Minister of Energy has said that it has involved the Office of the Attorney General to sue Malawi Rural Electrification Program, MARIP supplier, that have failed to supply items under the program. The ministry awarded 27 contracts to firms that committed to supply and deliver items in preparation for the rollout of MARIP 9. Speaking after appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Climate Change in Lilongwe yesterday, Rural Electrification Director Kondwani Chilemba said 4 suppliers have failed to deliver the items despite getting the payment in advance.
Alright, moving on to the business segment of the Nation newspaper. Fear for the West as budget trips, and partly the story says 6 months into the 2023-2024 fiscal year, Malawi's national budget is off track on key macroeconomic variables, raising fears among economists that the West is yet to come. Meanwhile, an analysis by United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF shows that a combination of both internal and external shocks that the struggling budget has failed to absorb is driving more people into poverty. The 2023-2024 budget assumed a growth of 2.7% this year and 3.2% next year.
estate agency honors mothers at KCH. Elite Real Estate Agents has given mothers at Kamuzu Central Hospital, KCH, maternity wing in Rilongwe, an early Mother's Day treat by donating items worth 3.5 million. The company chief executive officer, Malumbo Mhango, said they decided to donate the items as one way of celebrating Mother's Day.
Okay, internet companies report attack. Internet companies Google, Amazon, and Cloudflare say they have weathered the internet's largest non-denial service attack and are sounding the alarm of a new technique they could easily cause widespread disruption. Alphabet Inc. on Google said in a blog post published on Tuesday that its cloud services had parade an average of larger traffic more than 7 times the size of the previous record-breaking attack toward last year.
The business section, 600,000 tons of maize lost yearly. The World Food Program, WFP, has said Malawi is losing 600,000 tons of maize every year due to post-harvest losses. WFP Country Director Simon Denry said the amount of the maize lost is enough to feed all people in need and eliminate hunger in the country.
Alright, moving on to international news. King Charles in first visit to Africa. King Charles of the UK and Queen Consort Camilla are slated to visit Kenya from October 1st to November 3rd, 2023, when the British monarch is expected to acknowledge the more painful aspects of the UK and Kenya's shared history. This would be King Charles' first visit to Africa since he ascended to the throne. He is expected to visit Nairobi and surrounding locations.
TNM launches royalty program. Malawi Stock Exchange has listed telecom networks of Malawi. TNM has launched the royalty bonus program called Smile Reward. Announcing the new offering, TNM head of brand and marketing, Madalito Jonas, said Smile Reward aims at giving customers more value of their airtime usage by offering them bonus minutes points.
Alright, moving on to arts and culture. Art to rescue of Soja Hill, and partly the story says Paurindo Adventures has organized the Maiden Soja Mountain Festival to create conservation awareness on the need to preserve the hill and its natural resources. The local tour operators say they want to use the arts and entertainment platform to bring together people living within the vicinity of the hill to a discussion on environmental conservation. Artists such as Faith Musa, Safid Sarenze, Kingston are expected to lead activities which will take place at Top Soja Hill.
Now, international sports. Messi not going on loan. Lionel Messi will not join another team on loan when the Major League Soccer season ends, says the Inter Milan Miami captain, 36, has been linked with a return to Barcelona and a switch to the Saudi Pro League. Inter Milan are out of play contention after Sunday's loss 1-0. So it looks like Lionel Messi amainira kuti ndithu achoke kuti mwimene ya Inter Miami koma zikuoneka kuti ali ndithu mzibambo ameneyo khangati kumene kuku amutani amukonda ndithu adakali konko ndithu.
Alright, Nado to returning generally at Australia Open. Latonado will make his return to Grand Slam tennis following his surgery at the 2024 Australian Open, says tournament chief Greg Tenney. Spain's 22-time Grand Slam champion has been out of action since January and underwent surgery in June. Nado 37 has said he plans to retire at the end of the 2024 season.
Nzuzu Stadium not opening soon. Football fans in Nzuzu are set to continue missing out on airlight matches after City Mayor Gift Nyirenda asserted that Nzuzu Stadium pitch needs enough time to recover before reopening. Nyirenda made the remarks in response to the threats by a group of concerned football lovers in northern city which is pressuring Football Association of Malawi to reopen the stadium after closing it in August due to its poor state.
All right, moving on to the back page of the Nation newspaper, Scotia's second final, and that's local sports. Malawi Nation's women's football team will this afternoon hope for a repeat of their historic final appearance at the Hollywood Spitz COSAFA Women's Championship in 2021 as they take on Mozambique in the semi-finals at Lucas Morepe Stadium in Johannesburg, South Africa. The Scotias have emerged as tournament favorites after their thrilling run to the semi-final as the only team to register a 100% record, 3 out of 3 wins in group stages. I guess you can get the last one.
Yeah, the last one says Temwa set to break COSAFA goal scoring record. Malawi National football team star Temwa Chawinga has a chance to break a record of most goals scored in a single edition at this year Hollywood Bets COSAFA Women's Championship underway in Gauteng, South Africa. Temwa is on course for the honors after scoring 7 goals in just 2 matches. She started with a hat-trick in a 4-3 win over South Africa before netting 8-0 in demolition of Eswatini. Temwa Chawinga, Pangolina Azimaya, Pangolino Aziva, Azimaya Sewera Mpira. The Scotias, you know, they are winning, and you look at her sisters, Tabitha also doing a very great job. Actually, we just have to wish these women, you know, all the best as they are continuing participating in this year COSAFA Cup in South Africa. Yeah, we wish them all the best.
All right, that story brings us to the end of our press review program for today. Remember, we just take you through some of the stories, and if you want to have a full picture of what's in the papers, you can get your own copies that are both going at 1,200 kwacha. In today's program, you've been with me, Charity Chilanga, and my colleague
Emmanuel Chiwacha.
Have a wonderful day.